Today we're diving into something that's really powerful but often hidden, an emotion that can absolutely sabotage our relationships and even our own happiness. It's been called a disease of the heart, but not the kind your doctor can treat. So, let's get into what it is, and more importantly, how we can cure it.
Just think about that for a second. This frames contempt not just as, a bad mood or a negative feeling, but as a metaphysical heart disease. It's an illness of our inner world that just eats away at our connections and stops us from flourishing as the loving beings we could be. Okay, so what do we actually mean when we say a metaphysical disease? Well, we're talking about the realm of our minds, our consciousness, and our emotions.
Yeah, you can't just pop a pill for this one. This isn't about a chemical imbalance you can fix with a prescription. It's about the deep emotional patterns and ruts we get ourselves stuck in. You could say our brain might create the chemistry of contempt, but it's our mind that makes the choice to feel it.
So, before we can even think about finding a cure, we have to get the diagnosis right. What exactly is contempt, and what does it look like when it shows up in the real world?
This right here gets to the absolute core of it. See, contempt isn't just about disliking someone. It's an active process of lessening others so that we can feel bigger by comparison. It's this twisted strategy to inflate our own ego by making the world and the people in it seem smaller.
And wow, this definition really shows you just how deep that dismissal goes. When contempt takes over, we don't just disagree with a person, we decide they are fundamentally worthless, literally beneath our consideration. It's like a switch just flips in our mind. And the symptoms? They are just plain toxic. Contempt turns into this pain-spreading mission. And it doesn't just hurt other people, it's self-destructive too. It is the absolute polar opposite of love, or what our source material calls committed benevolent interest.
This is one of the most chilling symptoms of all. Empathy just vanishes. When we're in a state of contempt, someone else's pain doesn't trigger compassion. It can actually trigger a grim, ugly little sense of satisfaction, that thought that, well, they had it coming. It's a worldview that revolves entirely around our own pain.
So if contempt is the disease, then it stands to reason that love is the cure, right? But we need a very precise definition for this to work. So we're going to explore a very specific idea of love framed as a form of committed interest.
Okay, first things first. Let's clear the air and talk about what love isn't. It's not just some fleeting feeling that comes and goes. It's not about dependency or possessing another person. And it is absolutely not a transaction, some kind of contract. These are all common ideas that really water down the true power of love.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question, doesn't it? If love isn't all of those other things, then what on earth is it? What's the secret sauce?
And here it is. This is our precise, powerful antidote. Committed Benevolent Interest, or CBI for short. This isn't just a feeling, you see. It's a practice. It's an active, intentional way of showing up in the world. So let's unpack that, because those three words are absolutely crucial. Interest is about a genuine desire to actually pay attention and understand. Commitment means you're making a high emotional investment. You're all in. And benevolence, that's the foundation of a kind, caring nature. Put them all together, and you have the bedrock of this powerful, healing form of love.
And this right here just lays out the conflict perfectly. On one side, you have benevolence, the heart of CBI, which is all about the desire to do good. And on the other, you have malevolence, that feeling of ill will and hatred that defines contempt. They are total opposites. And you have to understand, this isn't just about how you feel in one particular moment. Love and contempt are like the glasses you wear. The one you choose to look through determines everything you see. It literally shapes your entire reality and your relationship with everyone in it.
But here's the thing, and this is the really hopeful part of this whole story. This metaphysical heart disease, it's curable. There is a path back from the wounds that cause all this contempt. Let's see how that can happen.
Healing doesn't always happen in a therapist's office or on a meditation cushion. Sometimes life just, it smacks you with what the source material calls a 2x4, a sudden crisis that just shatters your worldview and forces you to change.
Okay, picture this. You have a person who is just dripping with contempt, always blaming, always judging. And then the unthinkable happens. Their child gets terribly sick. And suddenly, the whole community is rallying around them, offering help, sympathy, support. All the usual places to direct that contempt, they're just gone. And this is where the paradox comes in.
You'd think that this incredible pain would just make them harder, right? But instead, it cracks them wide open. With nowhere to aim their scorn, they are forced to confront the pure love they have for their child and to receive the love coming from others. That crisis becomes a breakthrough.
And that totally reframes the whole conversation, doesn't it? It suggests that maybe we should stop thinking in terms of good people and bad people. Maybe we should see contempt as a symptom of a deep wound. And then the only real question is a person still wounded, or are they finally on the path to being healed?
So ultimately, all of this brings us back to a personal choice. Each one of us has the power to decide which lens we're going to look through each and every day. So, let me ask you directly. Think about your own life right now. Where could you be a little more benevolent? Where could you replace judgment or scorn with genuine, committed interest? Where could you be just a little bit less malevolent? And that is really the heart of the matter. Contempt is a prison. It shrinks your world down to the tiny size of your own ego. But love, that real, active, committed benevolent interest, it's the key that unlocks it all. It tears down the walls and expands your world with connection and meaning. So, the choice is yours. Which will you choose?